Hi and welcome. I'm Dr. Risa Sadouni and you're watching a short course on presentation and data analysis here on edX. Throughout this course, we'll keep things practical, simple, and to the point, so grab your notes and let's jump right in. In this chapter named Data Collection, we'll explain data collection and then we'll dive into its main methods, tools, and types. We'll break it down into key ideas, explain them clearly, and give real life example where needed. Let's begin with a quick overview. In this chapter, we'll understand what data collection is, identify key methods, describe common tools and data types, and differentiate between a qualitative and quantitative study. So, what is data collection? Data collection is the process of gathering, measuring, and analyzing precise information for research using validated standard techniques. In simple terms, data collection is the process of gathering information for a specific purpose. It can be used to answer research questions, make informed business decisions, or improve products and services. To collect data, the researcher must first identify the information needed and determine how to collect it. Collected data can also be used to evaluate a hypothesis and draw meaningful conclusions. In most cases, data collection is the primary and most important step in research, and the methodology for data collection varies depending on the field of study and the nature of the required information. So, how exactly do researchers go about collecting data? Let's explore the key data collection methods used across different fields. Data collection methods determine the population from which information will be gathered. There are two main approaches, census and sampling. As explained here in this image, census goes about gathering data from the whole population, whereas sampling gathers information just from a group of people called a sample. So, what is exactly the census? The census involves collecting information from every member of the targeted population. It is a comprehensive approach where each individual or unit of the population is included. An example can be a national population census where the government gathers information from each household to determine population distribution, demographic characteristics, etc. Whereas sampling involves selecting a representative subset of the population called a sample to collect data from and then generalizing the results to the entire population. It is a more flexible and faster method than the census. An example can be a political opinion poll where a sample of the population is selected to estimate public political preferences. Now that we've covered how data can be collected through census or sampling, let's move on to what is used to collect it, the tools. But before using data collection tools, it is essential to understand the type of study we want to conduct. There are essentially two types of studies, a qualitative study and a quantitative study. Starting with the first type, the quantitative study. A quantitative study is a research approach that enables the numerical analysis of behaviors, opinions, or expectations. Its primary objective is to generate statistically measurable conclusions, unlike qualitative research. This type of study typically relies on questionnaires or surveys to systematically collect data for analysis. Whereas a qualitative study is a research that allows for the analysis and understanding of phenomena, group behaviors, events, or topics. The objective is not to gather a large quantity of data, but rather to obtain in depth, high quality information. Qualitative research relies on the collection of qualitative data, which is obtained through three main methods: observation, interviews, and focus groups. Now let's start with the first tool for collecting data in a quantitative study, surveys. Surveys allow researchers to ask a broad general question to a representative sample of people. Surveys provide a precise answer to a specific question. It does not allow for lengthy exchanges with respondents but enables researchers to collect statistical data, which when analyzed helps them draw meaningful conclusions. For example, to study the efficiency of the Algerian railway network SNTF, the survey can look like this. Here in Figure 1, the question can be: is the service provided by the SNTF throughout the year up to your expectations, yes or no? So, as we said earlier, here we have a single question and the answer is direct. And the results of the survey can be 13% yes and 83% no. Here, the aim of the survey is to determine the user satisfaction rate. Now, moving to the second tool called the questionnaire. The questionnaire allows researchers to ask multiple questions to a representative sample of the studied population. It provides statistical answers on specific topics. The questions, often short, can be either open ended or close ended. For example, we have this questionnaire in Figure 2 to determine passenger satisfaction rates but with more detailed insights. So the first question can be, how often do you use SNCF services? Every day, once a week, once a month, once a quarter, etc. Are you satisfied with the punctuality of the trains? Very satisfied, satisfied, slightly satisfied, not satisfied at all. Are you satisfied with SNCF staff, etc. So this can be used more when we want to see what's the reason behind the low satisfaction rates. And the results can be like presented in table 1. Are you a regular SNCF user? Yes, 67%, no, 33%. How often do you use SNCF services? Every day, 9%, once a week, 22%, etc. You can create surveys and questionnaires easily by using online tools like Google Forms, SurveyMonkey, and Lime Survey. Now let's move to the first tool of data collection that can be used in a quantitative study, observation. So observation is a method in which the researcher directly observes participants' behavior in a given environment. It allows for the description of behaviors, places, situations, and emotions witnessed as an observer. For example, to study the reception of refugees in England, a researcher may conduct a quantitative study by observing a migrant reception center. These observations should help extract valuable insights based on recorded notes and observed elements. The second tool that can be used in a quantitative study is interviews. An interview is a conversation between the researcher and the participants which can be structured with predefined questions, semi-structured with a discussion guide, or unstructured, which means a free discussion. For example, one-on-one interview with employees to understand their job satisfaction and identify possible areas for improvement. The second example regarding the reception of refugees in England, the researcher could use the semi-structured interview technique. This involves interviewing migrants, association volunteers, or political officials with prepared questions to verify a hypothesis. Finally, the third tool for collecting data in a quantitative study is focus groups. A focus group is a group discussion moderated by a facilitator where multiple participants share their views on a specific topic. It is often used to explore ideas, perceptions, and attitudes in depth. An example can be always in the context of refugee reception in England, a focus group could involve gathering several refugees to discuss their experiences and situations. As we wrap up, keep in mind that effective data collection is the cornerstone of meaningful research and analysis. By understanding the different methods and tools available, researchers can ensure the validity and reliability of their findings. This chapter offers a strong foundation to help you select the right techniques and apply them confidently across various research contexts. Here are the references used throughout this chapter. Feel free to explore them for deeper understanding and further reading. So that was all for this chapter. Great job reaching till the end. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.